Don't lie to me.
Will and Hannibal resume their therapy sessions, and we take the first step introducing the character of who Bryan Fuller calls the Joker to Hannibal's Batman. Welcome to the top 5 moments from the episode, followed by the overall verdict.
Yeah, so how do you catch a fish that isn't hungry?
Change your tactics. Use live bait. You gotta make him bite.
The episode kicked off this week as Will and Jack are out fishing together. They're discussing the topic of how to catch a fish when it's not hungry. Jack is clearly trying to lead Hannibal into a false sense of security through the entire episode, in hope that he might make a mistake, in which he'll be quickly punished for.
I'm a good fisherman, Jack.
You hook 'em. I'll land 'em.
Anger is an energizing emotion, prompts action against threat. If you're angry, you're optimistic you can stop this from happening again.
We met Margot Verger this week, which means very soon we should be seeing another familiar face from the movies. Again, this is who Bryan Fuller describes as the Joker to Hannibal's Batman, so expect a huge character to be joining the plot very soon.
You should have taken the chocolate, Margot.
Peter Bernardone. You don't seem to be curious about who we are.
Who are you?
Jeremy Davies was a great guest star this week. He's always been great at playing eccentric characters, just like he did in Lost when he played Daniel Faraday. His and Will's chemistry played off each other very well indeed, which added even more suspension to the scenes that they were both involved in together.
He'll make sure no one will boogie me.
I'll make sure they do. But I prefer sins of omission to outright lies, Dr. Lecter. Don't lie to me.
As Will and Hannibal are resuming their therapy sessions, tensions rise as they conflict about the actions that occurred during their last sessions. Will admits to Hannibal that he still fantasises about killing him, but he doesn't want to kill him anymore, not now that he finds him interesting.
I don't want to kill you anymore, Dr. Lecter. Not now that I finally find you interesting. Is your social worker in that horse?
Mr. Ingram, might want to crawl back in there if you know what's good for you.
Oh Hannibal, how you come up with more twisted scenarios week after week. But this week took it a step further than that. As Hannibal watches Ingram come out of the horse which Peter sawed him into, he then watches the aftermath with Will unfold and is still fascinated with everything that Will does.
With all my knowledge and intrusion, I could never entirely predict you. Follows its own nature and is beyond me.
My overall verdict for this week's episode of Hannibal is a 9 out of 10. Hannibal quietened down this week, which to be honest was completely expected and fair. Last week's episode, we were spoilt really. It felt like a mid-season finale. But quieting down again is not by a long shot a bad thing. It gave the show a lot of time to concentrate on the unique relationship between Hannibal and Will. Them both resuming therapy brought some more interesting dialogue between the pair, the best of which was Hannibal still won't admit to Will that he is a killer, but he won't outright deny it either.
I don't expect you to admit anything. You can't. But I prefer sins of omission to outright lies, Dr. Lecter.
Will you return the courtesy?
Hannibal again showcased its fascinating visual effects, and more, did I really just see that scenes? Especially the ending when Ingram burst out of the horse's stomach, only to be told by Hannibal,
Might want to crawl back in there if you know what's good for you.
Plenty to digest again in this week's episode of Hannibal, as we edge ever closer to the finale of Season 2. Only 5 episodes to go now. How time flies. Thank you very much for watching the review. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the review. And I'll see you next week.
Beautiful fish, Will.
It was my turn to provide the meat.